Hello, it's George at DJ Band Supply. We're going to do a quick little video on how to install a needle on a head shell on your turntable. We are a Shure and Ortophone dealer, sell a lot of needles. Every once in a while we get someone that brings them in and they just bought it, they come back and they say it's defective. We look at the needle and they've bent it. Their needles are fragile, need to be treated with care. Just need to check out the video. If you're not 100% sure what you're doing, this will give you just a quick tutorial of how to install them, keep them intact, get them adjusted right. You'll love it. Thank you. Check out the video. Hello, it's George here at DJ Band Supply, and I've got Dave Thompson here with me. Here we go.
Today we're actually going to talk a little bit about how to set up this part of your turntables. This part being the head shell and needle assembly, and we're going to use the Shure M44-7 and a Techniques head shell to show you how to assemble and disassemble and do the repair in the process. So welcome back, guys. We're going to talk a little bit about turntable setup and, of course, the all-important needle assembly, head shell assembly that George is holding here for us. What we're going to do is a little backwards from setting up a new turntable, because we've already got a head shell and needle assembled. But this is a common scenario. You've got a set of needles, one of them's broken, you got to replace it, you need to replace the whole thing. So we're going to show you all those steps. And we talked a little bit earlier, this is the head shell that comes with the Epsilon turntable. It's a little bit different than the one that we're working on, but exactly the same style. It's called an overhead head shell. So George here is going to start disassembling that piece so we can see what the needle and cartridge assembly looks like disassembled from the head shell. It's a pretty easy operation. There's 4 wires on the back. And if you were doing this at home, you would make sure that you know exactly where to put those wires when you go to reassemble. And if you forget, a lot of times with Shure, for example, you'll get an instruction manual that labels the wires for you. But what I like to do when I don't have the instruction manual is use a couple of colored Sharpies so I can mark where the wires go. But we're smart guys, and we've done this a couple times before, so we're going to wing it. So go ahead and disassemble that thing for me, George.
Making sure. So it's really simple. You can see we have just a super small Phillips. This is a Phillips on one end, straight end on the other. They're very cost effective. This is a promo piece that was given to us. So we're set there. You can see how simple this is. Literally. Not tight, not loose. We're working on a paper towel so that we don't have stuff bounce all over. And there, literally, it is unbolted from the shell.
Just 2 bolts, and this is pretty standard for any type of head shell assembly like this. So there'll be 2 bolts that hold it together, and there's a couple of guides on the side of the assembly that you'll see. I don't know if we can get close enough in here, but right here on the side you can see the little guides where the screw holes go through and then fit through these slots on the top of the head shell.
I'm just going to I didn't really notice this before, but this is a Shure M447, which we always have in stock, and it actually has little colored rings on it, so you match blue to blue, red to red, rather than having to use a marker. If that 447 on this particular one has it color coded already. That was pretty cool. I saw that.
And you also notice, if you look even closer, and we'll do some close-up shots earlier so you can actually read this, but the left and right channels, plus and minus, are marked on the back here too. One other thing I wanted to point out about Shure assemblies, I really like this feature, is this guard right here. This guard right here will save your life, and it will also make the balancing process much easier, because we can leave this guard down while we're balancing the turntable, and because it stays on here even during operation, the weight of this doesn't change when we start to use the needle. That way our balance is going to be pretty close to dead on the entire time.
Okay, so the wires on the back, they slip on and off real easy. Just you can see there's the tiny little, they're small, so a pair of small needle nose pliers, grab it, slip it right on, boom, you're ready to go.
This is a very gentle operation. You don't want to use any force. You just use the needle nose because the piece is very small. It makes it a little easier to place. And what George is doing right now is just the reverse and reassembling the cartridge by taking those two screws, running them through the guide posts, and screwing it back together. So once he's done with that, we'll move on to attaching it to the turntable and also showing you guys how to balance it and set the height properly.
So what I did right here is I put the nut right here in the groove, and I held it with my thumb, and then, like I said, big hands in the way. I just put this, and I turned it, and I got it tight. So that's how I was holding it in place. The nut fits in here perfectly, so you don't have to, I didn't need a wrench. You're not tightening this to a point that you need, you know, if you tighten it so tight that you start to crack this head shell, you've gone way too tight. You'll also crush the cartridge, which you don't want to do.
Just finger tight. This is
yeah.
a pretty gentle operation.
Yeah, we're not working on a forklift or anything, so Dave's going to go over on getting this adjusted and aligned.
Alright, now you guys are masters at assembling turntable head shells and needle cartridges. We're going to get over here and actually attach it to the turntable and show you how to make sure that it's balanced and the height is adjusted properly. So, I know you guys can't quite see this, but inside of here there are 4 contacts that match up with these guys right here. And I've seen a million people do this when they get a bad connection or they're not quite getting both channels out of the record, is they pull this off and they lick it and try to clean it. Please don't do that anymore. Best way to clean this is actually to use a pencil eraser. A number 2 pencil eraser can be stuck in here and you can clean the contacts by twisting. You can also do that to clean this part right here. If you don't believe me, use an eraser to clean a penny sometime. So we just, oh, I almost didn't point this part out. There's a little nodule right here, little key mark as we like to call it, so that you can make sure that the turntable tone arm and the cartridge line up properly. And once you get those two lined up, they'll come together, screw it down. Again, this is a gentle thing, does not need to be over tightened. Get it snug in there and you should be good to go. That's the first step.
I want to thank you guys for watching the video on the setup of a needle and head shell. Got to thank Dave Thompson for coming in and helping us make that happen. So appreciate you guys watching our videos. Don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel that you're watching right now. Like us on Facebook, follow us on Twitter, check out our website where all this product is available. And we have financing in the store, so when you come in and you buy a pair of turntables and get a set of needles, get you walked out with 0 down, and walk out the door with it. And it looks like Dave's saying, don't forget.
Yeah, any of the stuff that we talked about in the video today, we stock it, we sell it, and we know it. Call us if you have questions.
Thank you very much.